Ciao ragazzi, eccoci stasera con una nuova chiacchierata per far la conoscenza con un altro dei protagonisti della prossima Red Bull XAlps 2025. Attesissima 12ª edizione della più appassionante gara di Hike and Fly al mondo. Quest'anno FIVL con i suoi canali e con il sottoscritto è stata invitata formalmente e accreditata come media press nella competizione. Quindi saremo presenti nei giorni preparatori allo start, durante la gara e poi durante lo svolgimento saremo di nuovo live con i teams, i piloti, gli organizzatori che man mano avranno modo di collegarsi con noi. Ok, siamo pronti? Questa sera non indugiamo oltre, siamo pronti per parlare con... Ok, ciao ragazzi, questa sera abbiamo con noi Bernd che è lo speaker ufficiale della Red Bull XAlps, un grandissimo conoscitore di tutti i meccanismi che stanno dietro la gara. Sarà lui la voce che ci accompagnerà anche durante lo start, durante le serate dove faremo dei collegamenti. Quindi welcome Bernd and thanks for being with us.
Ciao Rinaldo, grazie.
Good. Okay. So, Kitzbühel. Kitzbühel is gonna be the heart of the world, let's say, in that week. A lot of
At
things
least
going on.
that is right. At least of the hike and fly world. But yeah, you called it already. We are very fortunate in Kitzbühel that we have such an interested also into the sport interested cable car company Kitzski, which is very much behind the project, and together with the two tourism agencies of Kitzbühel and Brixental, basically Kirchberg, where the prologue will start. Those three partners are really giving it their all in order to host Red Bull XAlps, not just the prologue and the start, but also the full preparation week. But in addition, just like we did it in 2023, Rinaldo, we created a hike and fly festival around the preparation week of Red Bull XAlps. And with this being said, the weekend ahead of the big race start, from the 6th to the 9th of June, we'll see a Wonderbird Trophy hosted by Paul Guschelbauer, one of the veterans when it comes to Red Bull XAlps this year. First time not at the start line, but I think he had 7 or 8 Red Bull XAlps finishes under his belt, and therefore we will see a Wonderbird Trophy as, let's say, the opening act to the big Hike and Fly Festival, 10 days in Kitzbühel, starting Friday, 6th of June, and finishing with the start on Sunday, the 15th of June.
15th, right. I can say that it's really worth to be there. 2 years ago, I was there too. I mean, even if you are like I am, a normal Sunday pilot, let's say, I do some hike and fly, some small flights, but I mean, nothing to do with the big pilots there. But it's good to be there because you see somebody landing in a field and then you go there and it's Patrick von Kannel. Or you look in the sky, oh, it's Kriegel. Oh, it's something that who loves paragliding, really, it's the place to be. Absolutely.
That is right. And I just have something funny. I'm not sure if this will work here with the camera, but as you said, you have Kriegel next to you in the air and all the superstars, and they just sent me a screenshot of Kriegel's registration for the Wonderbird Trophy. So whoever has the possibility to join already the weekend before and stand on the start line at a let's say competition, which is for whoever wants to see it as a fun day, and for whoever wants to see it as a really hardcore competition, as there are 3 categories within the Wonderbird competition called Fun, Tour, and Hero, where basically, as you said, Rinaldo, if you are a Sunday pilot, you will find your area of well-being, as well as the up and coming Red Bull XAlps stars of the future.
Sure, absolutely. Talking about the prologue, it's gonna be when on Thursday or Thursday, and
Gonna be on.
they told me this year is gonna be a little bit more visible, because there will be pilots flying over the head back and forth.
Yes.
So how is it going to be?
Yes, exactly. Super nice new prologue route. You said you will also talk, or did talk already, with Ferdi Vogel, the race director. So I had the pleasure to assist Ferdi with the one or the other move, as he obviously is not local here in Kitzbühel, but we really tried hard in order to bring the prologue as a spectacle even closer to the fans and to the audience coming either from abroad or the locals watching. So we will be flying not just, somewhere out in the mountains and then come back at one point. We will cross the center of Kitzbühel in the air several times. We will topland up at the Hahnenkamm, where athletes have to sign already the turn point sign during the prologue for the first time. We will have a new start. Let's say the start is the same in Kirchberg, but we are leaving Kirchberg in the other direction with a new launch up at Geisberg as the first launch spot, and then also crossing Kirchberg with an air cylinder. So as you said it already, it's going to be way closer to the fans, to the spectators, and it's going to be an exciting Thursday. I believe, hopefully I don't say anything wrong, but I'm pretty sure, start 11 a.m. in Kirchberg. And if it's a nice flyable day, we expect the first pilots / athletes 2.5 hours later already back in the center of Kitzbühel. So yeah, that's going to be a spectacular day already on the Thursday.
Right. Yeah, I remember 2 years ago the starting in Kitzbühel. It was really fantastic seeing the athletes running around all the center of the village, and then going back and up in the mountain, and also the takeoff, the first takeoff, when you were looking at the sky. It was really something really you need to see with your eyes, because it's difficult to describe it by camera. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you are right. And goosebumps. Just if you tell me about the scenery from 2 years ago, was absolutely fantastic. Remember with Paul Takac then pulling away right away as the first one, basically making the move. Very bold from his end. Super cool start. Obviously, the weather could not have been any better, as it is the case with those races. You simply need an okay and acceptable weather as well. But nevertheless, Red Bull XAlps start on the Sunday, a spectacle. But just to imagine, on the weekend ahead with Wonderbird, they are expecting 100 plus athletes and pilots. So the scenery with 100 plus gliders in the air will be just as fantastic as a week later. So yeah, we really look forward to all 10 days of Hike and Fly Festival in Kitzbühel. In addition, the local flying club, I didn't tell you, the Hang and Paragliders here in Kitzbühel are celebrating their 50th anniversary on that day in Kitzbühel. The club is 50 years old, and on Sunday, the 8th of June, we're gonna have a big Landewiesenfest, which means at the landing area in Kitzbühel, we will have a huge festivity with a little vernissage where we will display some iconic images and tools from the last 50 years, where all the club members will be present. And we will also host the prize giving ceremony of the Wonderbird Trophy the first day during this get together. So yeah, I hope you can feel that I really want to promote all 10 days and not just focus on the big highlight, obviously, which is
Yes.
the Red Bull XAlps.
Sure. I remember 2 years ago, it was also, I believe it was Saturday, when
Yes.
they made also a small I can fly race, but it was not so small because at the end it was quite interesting, and also not only flying but also trying to open the lines of the wing at the arriving point, and then going around with your wing on your shoulder in the cross
Exactly.
country. That was
There
really
were
fantastic. Yeah.
there were some special stages. And this year we decided simply to kind of extend the whole thing a little bit, leave the X-Alps weekend to Red Bull X-Alps, have that exclusively with the press conference where you will be present as well up at the famous start house of the Streif
Yes.
on the Saturday ahead of race start, the 14th of June, and use Paul's Wonderbird project basically the weekend before, which is also a holiday, I believe, also in Italy. So the Monday, the 9th, I believe, is also a holiday for you guys. So there are no excuses because the Wonderbird weekend will also consist out of 4 days. Friday night will be for now a big surprise, but we're gonna have something very, very special going on. Saturday is kind of the warm-up day, and Sunday the 8th and Monday the 9th will be the two competition days if weather permits.
Good, 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 good. Absolutely. Yeah, I really look forward to it. So,
Yes.
Ben, talking about the pilots that will be there, you are you know most of them because you follow them absolutely during the prologue, the race, and so on. So we see that there are some very strong team this years. For sure, the X-Alps it's always the top pilots race, so it's impossible not to be strong if you are there. But how do you see the different teams? The French, I believe they are very aggressive this year, but also the Italians are, and the Swiss for sure, the Austrian, the Germans. I mean, there is really a big competition.
Yeah. Ah, we are talking about teams and athletes every single year, 35 of them. Everybody is showing up sharp as a knife, basically, and prepared to the absolute maximum. And in the end, it was always Kriegel in the end taking it. So, as you know, we had already the route announcement in Salzburg together with Ulrich, the basically co-founder of the race and still in charge of everything around the Red Bull X-Alps together with his team at Zoom. And in the end, yeah, you can obviously analyze every single of those other 34 into the absolute detail. But in the end, it was always Kriegel basically showing them on how it's done. And I mean, there is no doubt that Maxime, for example, is an absolute machine in the air as well as on the ground. The same counts, or the same counts for Aaron. The same counts for so many others. In the end, the Austrians with Tommy, who is also a veteran in the meanwhile, and even though he's super young, Tommy Friedrich, but you have to count him into the really close circle of favorites. Same counts for Simon Oberrauner, and so on and so on. So in the end, it's super hard to really name, let's say, the top 2, top 3 guys, because other than Kriegel, yeah, nobody really was able to grab for this top spot. And of course, second or third or fourth, or even just reaching the finish line is an incredible achievement where words are probably not enough to describe it. But in the end, it's about winning the race, and so far, Kriegel is the one who proved it year after year. So I'm really looking forward to see how and who somebody else could stop or step into this top podium spot. at the route announcements, obviously there were some, behind the scenes chattings as well. And as we know, Kriegel had a rough time after the last Red Bull X-Alps edition. He wasn't really healthy for more than half a year, but then in the end he came back with a bang. He realized this special summit project in Switzerland. So you can be assured that he's back on top of his game. Patrick von Kennel told us that he was remodeling his house back home. So there was not always just time for, the perfect training rhythm and the perfect training sessions. On the other hand, Aaron, for example, looked absolutely sharp and ready to really tackle Kriegel and grab for this top spot. But it's such a dynamic environment. So I'm also curious to hear what you think and who,
Yes.
from your point of view, is on your list able to fight for the podium.
Well, look, if I look at the Dolomiti Superfly, which was last summer, we have seen four pilots arriving in after it was not so long. It was what 5 days, 4 days race, but anyway, they arrived in about 1 hour time. Four pilots altogether. I mean, after 4 or 5 days, you are fighting. It looks unbelievable. But they arrived really on the last thermal. They were all together, and then Toby was able to go away, but Aaron was there, Lars was there, Tommy Fredrik was there. So it was really, and I believe also this year, it depends for sure from the weather, but there will be a big group like 2 years ago arriving in 1 day or 2 days. You will see a lot of pilots arriving because, as you said, the level is so high that is not really somebody standing out and the others far away. They are all there,
Mhm.
all there.
Yeah, that's what I think. What everybody else says, during the last editions, the track length in France was probably not as long as the Frenchies would have hoped for. But this is also no excuse this year anymore because the Swiss part close to Switzerland is as extensive as during the last years, and also the pure part in France is way longer than last year's, all the way southwest to Les Deux Alpes.
Yes.
So is that an advantage for Maxime, for example, or all the other Frenchies? I don't know, but you would assume that your home turf, your home ground, obviously gives you a little advantage because you are so used to flying there all year round. So yeah, let's see how this
Sure.
all turns out and evolves. On the other hand, we saw just talking, people we didn't probably have on the front page of our list, but Juraj, for example, the Slovakian athlete, was at the route announcement as well, and he said, well, he definitely paused now for a couple editions, but he's seen it already about, I believe it was 2019 where he had his last appearance, and during the last 6 years he stepped it up so much, flying in the Alps, but not just in the Alps, also around the world. He is one of, for sure, the biggest adventurers of the whole field. And if conditions are tough and if you need this skill set of a good adventurer as well, then who knows? It might be also the year for one of those. Well, I wouldn't call them outsiders, but probably of those athletes we don't have off the front page when it comes to absolute favorites.
Yes, sure. And we don't have to forget that they are able to fly everywhere because Damien Lacazze, for example, was the one which made the longest flight ever, and he made it in Italy, even if he's maybe not so used to fly here. So I believe they are guys that when there is a thermal, okay, they are there. There is no way that they can miss it.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right. Um yeah, yeah. Obviously, a pity that Paul is missing this year, because he was, in terms of making bold moves and pulling away and trying hard and trying something different in the air to separate himself basically from the others. That was really, really cool and amazing to see. But yeah, who knows? Maybe there is somebody else stepping into his footsteps and shaking the field up a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. I believe so too. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Bernd, we discussed about what is going on in Kitzbühel during that week. We talk a little bit about the pilots. There are so many. I ask excuse to the one we didn't mention, but all of them are very nice and ready and sharp, as you said. So just to remember everything. 1 week before the race, there will be the Wonderbird on Sunday and Monday. And then all the week, it's a Red Bull X-Alps week in Kitzbühel with pilots flying around. And you can be in a pub having a beer and you have next to you Aaron Durogati or Toby Frederick or Marcus Anders. They are all there.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if you love the sport, no matter if you are a hobby pilot just like you, or if you are, somewhere within the industry, or if you are somehow ambitious, being it just in the air or maybe even with the hike and fly sport, then I would definitely call Kitzbühel the place to be. Wonderbird.io is the website for Pauli's project, Pauli's event series. This is not just in Kitzbühel, but in the meanwhile all around the world, where you can basically stand in line with the best of the best and show your skills and also improve, because it's really a community event. And then obviously redbullxalps.com, where you are able to find everything then from Tuesday onwards, not just for the time being in Kitzbühel, but also then obviously from Sunday onwards when they head to wonderful Italy, and then further into Switzerland, first time this X with St. Moritz, all the way to Les Deux Alpes, and then back. And yeah, curious to see on how many will see the finish line this year.
Yes, yes. When I saw the route the first time, I said, "Wow, they did it again." I mean, it is something that it was absolutely unexpected to see this cross in the middle of the route. Really, that was really well made. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ulrich also brought up some statistics of the last, 7 or 8 or even 10 X-Alps statistics, and on average, how many kilometers athletes did per day. Given years where the weather was bad, given years where the weather was good, and even with the new, again, the longest, the most challenging, and the toughest, basically, route ever. If you just count on pure statistics, we will see again just as many finishers as we saw in the past. Not just the track evolves, also the athletes do. And yeah, hopefully, and I really hope that Celine, the only lady this year, is also able to show the boys on how it's done.
Yes, yeah, yeah. 2 years ago, she had an accident some period before the race, so she was
Exactly.
not 100%. But anyway, she did 500 kilometers. So I mean, this year I had her 2 or 3 nights ago on the interview. She told me she's ready. She's gonna be tough this year, even more tough because she's the only woman. So we look forward to see her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Crossing our fingers.
Okay.
As you said, bad luck the last time, struggling already from basically day on due to her injury. But I mean, we saw it with Eli, what the ladies are really capable of doing, and it is super, super tough and super, super challenging, without a doubt. And therefore, we are very much looking forward to see what Celine is able to show us this year.
Okay, good. So we will be, and she's the only woman, so we can be all behind her. Okay.
Yes. Oh, 100% sure.
Okay, so Bernd, thanks very much for your time. It was very, very pleasant talk with you tonight. We will have the chance to see in Kitzbühel in person again, and then during the race, maybe some evening when you have some spare time to say something about the day, and we will try to be online every evening to discuss and see which are the position of the pilots, with the help also with some maybe some teams and so on. So it's going to be very interesting.
Absolutely. Grazie a te for having me on, and yeah, looking forward to welcome you in Kitzbühel. I will have a beer cold and ready for you, Rinaldo, once you get in. And yeah, looking forward to maybe even see you at the Wonderbird start line.
Ok, bene, grazie mille. Thanks, Bernd.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Ciao, Rinaldo. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.